Welcome. Today, the topic that we will be discussing today is on the ethical issues with relevance to the cyber age that the business is functioning now. So, till today we have discussed the topics where we discussed the functions of business with respect to the different stakeholders like the shareholders, the consumers, the employees, the suppliers, the role of stakeholders like the government, civil society organizations, and also the environment in their relation to the business organization. Today we are discussing about the specific ways. Today we will be discussing of specific ways of doing the business when it comes to the virtual world, virtual reality, where people may or may not be in direct face-to-face contacts, but still there are business transactions happening. So, in this context, because information technology has become a part of our life now, and so it has gained a very prominent place in the business scenario, and itself has become a very important stakeholder in giving the environment in which the business is done. And there are many ethical issues related to it. So, in today's discussion, we will be focusing on information technology and business ethics relevant to the information technology. We will be discussing on the morality issues with respect to the information technology. The issues that will be discussed here will be that of related to the data and intellectual property, and what are the ethical issues related to it. So, what are the ethical issues that are relevant for the information technology field is, while it gives more flexibility to the organization, more opportunities to the organization to become more competitive, then but in global situations, because this in globalized situations where there are deterritorialization and maybe there are unsettled norms and not proper legislations for guiding the use of these technologies that are present in the organization, and how the individuals are going to use it, or how the organization is going to respond to it, how the government is going to respond to the use of the technologies by the different organizations, then it leads to the ethical dilemmas regarding the use of such technology. So, second is the unauthorized use of the information technology. So, because number of cases, as you find, have been reported regarding that brought the issue into the limelight, like unauthorized use by people who are not supposed to use it, and the thefts with respect to that. So, it is not only the official information that are misused, but also the personal information which is also misused. Now, what are the moral significance of ethics in IT? As we understand, like IT is like, what is the importance of IT is it has given rise to a new economy, the knowledge economy, which which has become the guiding force in many cases. So, like for the, and it sees its application in all forms, like no old economy like manufacturing and it can function without the knowledge economy, and it has its application in all the fields like manufacturing, marketing, advertising, organizing human capital, suppliers, logistics, trade, commerce. Wherever you see, it has a huge application. So, all are like even leisure, then entertainment, communication, all becomes managed by IT. So, some of the salient features which are like it has found its place in day-to-day life of the people, even through personal computers, smartphones, digital assistants, cloud computing. So, you name anything and IT is there. So, the salient features of this knowledge economy is that knowledge itself is a product, and this is an intangible asset. So, however, its excellence is measured by the quality of its performance, what the software programs can deliver, and with what efficiency that they can perform the task that they are purport to perform. And this is a production through skilled minds. So, skilled people who are skilled in computation, programming, and analysis work in teams to design solutions for managing the business world. It is a targeted product in the sense there is a customized product for particular solutions for particular problems like banks, markets, and then traffic, air traffic governance, education, library, entertainment, and media all need IT which is customized to their needs. Knowledge product is the differentiation. So, there are competitors in the market, and the different knowledge products are available in the same requisite area, and companies are in fierce competition to obtain contracts and retain their clients. Knowledge consumers. The IT consumer market is as large as the globe itself, and there is no one who is not influenced in some way or the other by the IT. Even for maybe birds and animals, now chips are placed inside their body to find out, track out their movements, find their ways of like how they live, how they group together, to find how to ways to protect them and all. It is a creative product because knowledge products are created by people and they rightfully belong to them. So, the creator of the product has the right over them, which are both moral rights and the legal rights. These rights are called the intellectual property rights. So, just as the musicians, painters and authors have a right over their creation. So, those who are infringing on those creative rights are cheating the creators. And data ownership also, it is the data is the stored information that rightfully belongs to the owner. And so, like the data which is generated by IT is a exclusive property, and so there could be ethical issues regarding data protection, data collection, data protection, data usage and data theft, storage and all these things. So, this is a field because laws are there to some extent, but lot depends on the moral conscience of the people, how to use this and how to protect this, what to do, what not to do. So, and that's why cyber ethics has become very important as an applied field of ethics, which studies and human behavior that is related to information and communication technology. So, like what we understand here, like the every action that we take leaves a trail of information that could be recorded and stored for future use, which brings in the moral responsibility on others to not to use it, because we are talking of data ownership. So, when we are discussing the ethical issues and the moral responsibility of the persons relevant to it, then what we have to discuss also, what are the specific areas in with respect to what we are discussing these moral values. So, the moral values could be with regard to information recording. The primary moral concern here is that when we collect, store and or access information, it is done in a just manner that anyone can see is fair and in the best interest of all the parties involved. Moral values in communication or in communicating and accessing information. The primary moral values of concerns in the context of communicating and accessing information are like privacy, ownership, trust and the veracity of information that is being communicated. Another is, after maybe the collecting the information, how do you extract information from it by organizing the data, how you are analyzing it. This becomes issues of moral issues. So, as many information technologies automate the organizing of information as well as synthesizing or mechanically authoring or acting on a new information, the moral concern here lies in presenting things the way that they are not what one decides to do as per their benefits or to harm to other person. So, we have to understand, like if everything has been automated, then if a program has been written for it, So, two variables or two set of informations like could be related and presented to as a set of and presented as a set of information concerning maybe for a particular, this is more relevant when we are talking for personal informations, like if the person is browsing site A and if the person is browsing site B also, then if you try to correlate these two behaviors and tell like because the person is having browsing site A, so the person may be interested in this. If the person is browsing site B, so the person is interested on this. So, therefore, the person is interested in both things. So, if the person wants A, I can give suggestion for products which are sold under B website, or if the person is going for B, I can push sell my products which are like regarding information that the person is seeking in website A. So, these type of relationships that are found by how you organize and synthesize your information may sometimes have unethical color to it. Next important is to protect the interest of the employees both at the professional level and the personal level. So, the organizations must frame a code of conduct to protect the interest of its employees both at the personal and the professional level. So, why this code of conduct is important is these are like guiding principles which gives like gives the guidelines regarding what some employees are expected to do, or what an individual is expected to do, and what the individual is like as not a proper expected behavior from an individual. So, these codes of conduct help to preserve the rights of particular individuals and also helps others to enjoy their rights also. The rights to maybe privacy, rights to not to be disturbed, rights not to be defamed, all these type of rights. Certain codes of conduct, like in 1992, the Computer Ethics Institute, which is a non-governmental organization with an objective to bring ethical responsibility in technology, founded a code of conduct that closely resembled the 10 commandments like given in the Bible. So, what are these 10 commands like? 10 commandments like: thou shalt not use a computer to harm other people. 2. Thou shalt not interfere with other people's computer work. 3. Thou shalt not snoop around in other people's computer files. 4. Thou shalt not use a computer to steal. 5. Thou shalt not use a computer to bear false witness. 6. Thou shalt not copy or use proprietary software for which you have not paid. 7. Thou shalt not use other people's computer resources without authorization or proper compensation. 8. Thou shalt not appropriate other people's intellectual output. 9. Thou shalt think about the social consequences of the program thou art writing or the system thou art designing. And 10. Thou shalt always use a computer that ensures consideration and respect for thine fellow humans. So, these codes of conduct, ethics are expectations that people are going to follow these codes of conducts while they are functioning. But these codes of conducts cannot be enforced on people. So, when they are left to themselves, people may follow or not follow the codes of conduct. There comes the importance of law to discuss, like what must be followed with respect to. There comes the importance of law to find out what becomes important with respect to what must be followed while you are working with data. We will discuss problems with the ethical issues. We will discuss the problems and ethical issues related to data identity and data security in this section, where because data today is very important and we know like the importance of the how the data is become an important part of our day-to-day life, our day-to-day processes, and how it serves as an identity for maybe yourself, and that is how it needs to be. That's how it has got very important position, and that for that reason it needs to be under security. Proper security measures need to be taken for it. So, what is the, if we are to think of the security of the data, then we have to understand the importance of it as an asset, and then think like what are the processes we can do to protect it. So, when we talk of data capital, it is the recorded information necessary to develop or produce a good or service. So, and it can have a long term value such as buildings and equipments too. So, with data capital, if you have the data capital, recorded information, and if you know something of your customer or the production process, then it might be something that in the future it yields value over the years, because you are able to infer, create more meaning out of that data and make its fruitful use for your business purposes. So, having the understanding the importance of data capital, the security of the data is becoming very important, because data, these are information assets which are of the similar monetary value and which must be protected. It is also a fact that the data is meant for further wealth generation. So, there are three important values which needs to be protected when you are talking of data security. These are confidentiality, second is that of integrity, and the third is that of availability. So, data security problems are primarily ethical problems which takes a legal turn when the ethic fails to motivate the moral character. Data security means it is the protection of the use of data from unwarranted sources, and data security is important for the following reason: to comply with the regulations and guidelines provided by the government in the country, to avoid risking individual safety, ward against identity theft, to avoid embarrassment. These are some of the, to avoid embarrassment, these are some of the reasons that what we may go for data security. The basic principles which are guiding data security are, as already discussed, is one that of confidentiality, where it is the prevention of disclosure of information to unauthorized persons. So, when an unauthorized person have an access to the data and use it for his benefit, confidentiality is breached and theft takes place. And breach of confidentiality means the breach of trust. So, and it happens maybe very easily in workplace, where one employee is able to see what is happening in the other person's computer and get a keyword, a password, etc., or some other authorizing key. Integrity is where we are talking of the data integrity is protected when somebody is not tampering with the data which is there and making changes in it, because it may have a huge impact on the society at large. And third, when you are talking of the availability of the data, it is the availability when it is required mostly by the user. So, non-availability of data can cause major inconveniences to the and loss to the customers. So, the business houses have a special responsibility to see and manage their data risk. So, and how to safeguard their data. So, like to judge about the authenticity of the data. So, to bear the risk in data protection. So, these type of data risks are there. So, laxity in risk management with respect to the data may cause huge loss to the business and may be leading to total bankruptcy. In the next part of the discussion, we will try to focus into how the business houses moves forward for the risk management with respect to data, what are the processes they have taken, what are the things that they have done to act on this data risk. Thank you.